Hello, YouTube. This is Angela Logan, East Tennessee, giving you an update on the R.Kelly saga. I uploaded a video last night giving you my opinions of what was transpiring lately with the publicist, Mr. Johnson. And I read an article last night stating that he had done an interview with CBS, giving his opinion and on the status of the case with Mr. Kelly, giving his opinion about not wanting, not having, if he had a 20-year-old daughter, whatever, he wouldn't have her in the company of Mr. Kelly. And of course, as I stated last night, if your child was of that age, they would be doing what they want to do. They would be out in the world fraternizing with different people, all kinds of people. You wouldn't really have a say so of who they're talking to, fraternizing with. So I just find it interesting that in this article that I read, it states that so much, I got so much in my mind I can't even think straight, that he stepped down as the publicist because he felt like he was a distraction to Mr. Kelly, which I found that odd. So now you're a distraction. Why would you feel you're a distraction? You allegedly claimed that you worked for Mr. Greenberg, Mr. Kelly's attorney, that Mr. Kelly was not your client. But then you would give interviews to where you'd slip up and say, Mr. Kelly was your client. And now you step down as a part of the Greenberg team because you are a distraction, or personal reasons rather. And I'm confused. I think what has happened is he has realized that it has become a circus. Things have gone totally out of control with the case, with new allegations coming from New York, and that you didn't have control of the situation. Now, mind you, you're supposed to be handling this man's persona to the public as a crisis manager, etc. So obviously, you're not good in that field. Because my thing is, why would you even step down if you knew what you were doing and you were secure with what you were doing? And so I just find, like I said, this case is so baffling and crazy and neurotic. It just seems like every other month it's just one new thing after the other. But you see, it's the devil's work, so it's going to be nonsense. I mean, think about it. A grown man chasing in behind young girls. What good could come from it? It's already wrong, so nothing good's going to come from it. Now all these allegations have resurfaced from old cases or whatever, and it's just a very sick situation. And so you've got this man who was representing him as a publicist, who is now bowed out of that position, and giving commentary about if he had a child of 20 years of age, he wouldn't have her in the company of a pedophile. But I find it interesting that you make that comment, yet you would represent a pedophile. And now you're giving commentary that you believe in him, you believe he is innocent, and I just feel like that's a bunch of BS. I don't see how you could believe he is innocent. How? All these different versions. I mean, I don't care that some of the women were grown when they met him. I don't care that they were girls and then became grown and still stayed with him. The stories are too similar, and you in your right mind can't tell me you believe this man never bedded young girls, never got with older women, grown women rather, and mistreated them, kept them captive, or at least didn't treat them well, let's say, access to food, toiletries, to roam about freely, come and go. Okay, I do believe some of those stories. That's just me. I do believe that. And I just think it's interesting that this man has bowed out from his position and now giving public, statements that he believes him. that he believes he's innocent. Well, that's fine. You are entitled to your opinion. I don't, frankly. I don't believe anything R. Kelly has to say. And I think that the time has come for him to stand account for the things that he has done. And I know a lot of people still rally behind him. And I think it's like anything. You people just want something to believe in. You know, you liked his music. But my thing is, it doesn't matter if it's an athlete, a public figure, a politician. You don't know that person. You know them from what they're doing in the public, which that ain't jack. That doesn't mean you know them. I don't know him. Yeah, he had nice music, but let's be truthful. We all knew some of those lyrics were racy back in the day, and we ignored them. We ignored a lot of things from the music, but they were racy as hell, and most of you all know that. And now you're sitting here acting like you're stunned and oh no, I can't believe that, and these women are lying, and it's for the money, and I refuse to believe that every woman and girl that he laid with, he paid them money to be quiet. I don't believe that. I think he only tried to pay or paid when they came screaming and hollering that something went bump in the night, such as, ooh, I went to the doctor and found out I have an STD. Well, okay, I'm going to keep her mouth closed. Let me see if I can pay her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or, yeah, she's underage. Now her parents, guardians found out. Let me see about paying someone off, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, when you have wrongdoing, which in this case, it's evident, you're going to have people coming with stories and versions. Some of it's a little bit true, some of it's a lie. You're not going to ever know because, like I said, this is a serious case of pedophilia. And when you have went these long years, 30 years of not being apprehended and brought to justice, you should know all types of people are going to come out with all type of versions, some true, some not, something added, some taken away. So everybody can get off their high horse acting like, hey, he's exempt. No, I expect for people to come make up all kind of stuff because that's just what people do. They do it when you're not doing anything wrong. It's just the way the world is. But I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry that, yes, he was a child molested by a relative, allegedly the sister. I empathize with that. I don't want any child harmed. But once he became a grown man, he was responsible for his actions, and he had no business out here roaming the streets, looking and lurking and hunting down little girls. He had no right to even be mistreating them when they got in his company, nor getting with grown women and mistreating them, beating them, like I said, introducing them to all type of crazy sexual acts and different things with men, women. Come on now. To each its own, yes. Behind closed doors, yes. But you so far out there, for whatever reason, you know, that's on you. That's who you want to be, Mr. Kelly. Okay. But you don't have to inflict that on somebody else. You don't have to intimidate somebody to feel like, well, hey, I'm this guy. Hey, come on, ride the ride. Like I said, this riding the ride is so old to me. And I think it's sad that these other people who were in the camp, they rode the ride for whatever reason. It's just a big mess. And I just think it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't see him going home. I don't see him being free. And I just think that everybody that's getting on board, judging this person and that person. And like I said, the publicist, you can believe whatever you want to believe about Mr. Kelly. But I think, deep down inside, that man is guilty of sin. And you are also participating with riding the ride as well. And yes, he's entitled to a fair hearing, trial, because that's the standard by law. But the publicist side, that don't have anything to do with him having proper representation because you're not an attorney. So you're choosing to get on board with this shenanigans. What that child needs is prayer. He needs redemption. That's what he needs more than anything. He needs to get on bended knee and pray and ask the Lord for forgiveness for the shenanigans and messing with these folks' children out here. That's what he needs. not no publicist. He needs to pray and ask the Lord to forgive him for his sins and apologize to these children and women that he has abused mentally and physically, sexually, all of that. So that's my update, my little opinion on Mr. Kelly and as I say, the shenanigans that have been ensuing lately, as of late. And stay tuned. I'm new to this, and I will try to keep you posted on any new developments I come across. And I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye.